Hi everyone, this is Mika from Sydney, Australia. Today I have an interview with a beautiful lady who is one of my business owners. She used the same system as mine. Okay, so let's get started. Today's guest is Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, how are you going?
Good, thank you. How are you today?
Not too bad. I don't have much of a voice, but I'm pretty good.
That's good. Okay, so Nicole, you're from Australia, right? So
yes, we're just talking, and we live a suburb away from each other. So next time maybe we're live together.
Yeah. After I started this business, I was looking for someone in my neighbor, but today it's happened. So it's very coincidence, and I'm very excited to talk to. Today is online, but someday let's catch up on face to face.
Absolutely, I'm excited. We can do things face to face now.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about this business. And before that, could you tell me about yourself a bit?
So my name's Nicoles. I live in Sydney, Australia. For many years, I was a sole parent. So my son, Declan, is now 17. However, just after I started this business, I also eloped and got married to my beautiful husband, Beriesh from Mozambique. And he also has 2 children. So between us, we're a family of 5.
Oh, wow. It's a big family.
Yeah.
Okay.
His kids live in Newcastle, so 6
I
hours away, but we get to see them occasionally.
Okay. So how long have you been in this business now?
So I started in this business in August 2020. And so almost 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Okay, so may I ask why did you start this online business?
Yeah. So for me, there's a bit of a journey beforehand, if I can tell that would be cool. So I used to work at Macquarie University, and I used to actually have an executive role. So I was associate director. I looked after all the engagement teams. So the people that looked after the orientation, student engagement, all the student groups, accommodation, student equity and diversity, and international students. So I had a huge team of people that I was working with, and I had gotten the job that I thought, this is what I wanted to do. And then one day, we have this big orientation welcome, and I just done a speech at the orientation welcome to a couple of thousand international students.
Wow.
Sitting next to the Vice Chancellor. And my phone kept going off, and it just kept going off, and it's on silent, but I was running orientation. So I thought, oh my gosh, there's been a critical incident on campus. But unfortunately, there wasn't a critical incident on campus, but there was a critical incident in my family life. So my son was being rushed to hospital, and we didn't know what was going on. So I needed to hand over orientation week to my team, and then rush off to find out what was going on. That's really just the beginning of that story and that journey for us. So that was 5 years ago now, and my son, 4 or 5 years ago, my son then went lots and lots of tests, lots of specialists, and so I was trying to juggle this really big role, and being a sole parent at the time, rushing around with my son, trying to take him to appointments, and I just wasn't doing anything right. I felt like all the balls that I juggled, because I do like to be busy, I just dropped them all. I didn't feel like I was being a good mum, because at the time the doctors were saying to try and get him to go to school for an hour a day. How do you do that and then try and go to work around that? As good as the uni was, it just wasn't working. So it came to a crunch. So I needed to leave that role. And then the pandemic happened. And I'm a very sociable person. I need people to keep me up and happy and going. And I just kind of lost myself. So I was taking Declan to, 4 to 7 appointments a week, traveling all over Sydney to different specialists to try and see if we could get him some pain relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I guess you had a very tough time. Like, as a mom, as a parent, when we are worried about what happened at school. Like, even we got a phone call from, like, even at school, I'm very nervous. But from the emergency or some hospital, I can't imagine how you worried about him.
Yeah.
And then as a mom, of course, we need some work to get some money, our money. But sometimes we have to be there for the kids. Kids needs mom, right? So, yeah. Wow,
yeah.
That's very tough time, I guess.
Yeah, so, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. So from that extent, you are thinking about, you have to think about to look for substitute career or something.
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't even think.
Oh, okay.
I had, I am typically a very confident person and driven, and I know what I want to do. But at that stage in my life, I was lost. I was helpless. I couldn't figure out what to do. Like, I was looking then, like, I was able to have some time off with money that I had from when I left my job that I'd been at for 15 years.
Yeah.
But it was running out, and it's like, okay, I went and applied I went for a job interview, and I'm like, how am I going to get Declan to his appointments, which are basically every day, and do school and drive and get to the city and then work 7 or 8 or 10 hours, depending on what job I took, and then get home again. Like, it just didn't fit. It didn't fit. I literally came home from that interview, and my friend Leanne had given me a link for a webinar, like, for the business that she'd been doing for a year. And at the time I was like, no, like, I don't want a business. I just want to, like, I just can't do anything. But I actually watched the webinar at like 11 o'clock at night one night.
Oh, I see.
And like, it's great that I could do it in my own time. I could like pause it if I wanted to, but I was watching it, and it was like a little fire started burning inside me. It was like, this sounds really interesting. And you got to remember, my previous job, I was helping with strategy with the Vice Chancellor, and I was working with students and enabling them to get places. I really felt that I had a purpose where I was. And so for 6 months, my sole purpose was my son, and my son is always number one. But there's more than just that. And plus, I need to earn income. Renting.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So watching this webinar, I just started getting really excited, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Yeah. And by the end of it, I'm like, I think I really enjoy this.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, basically I was sold from then. Yeah. I was up and running in a couple of weeks.
But before, with your career, with like a university, you were juggling the time with your son's appointment, right? But what is the most attractive things about this business compared to the previous career?
Oh, look, there's multiple things. So the first thing is I have the flexibility to take my son to appointments when he needs to go. So we're a couple of years on, and he's doing a lot better, but he is in, like, he has a chronic pain condition, so he's in pain 24 hours a day. And I can be there for him, you know, if things are really tough for him, I'm just there. So it's that time, it's that flexibility. And I really hope no one ever has to go through what I'm going through. But even if your friends or your family are sick and need to stay home, how cool is it that you can actually stay home with them and not have to worry? You might reschedule an interview, but basically your business is still running. So the flexibility is the best. And I used to think that that job was the job that I wanted. But do you know what? It was a job. I had to answer to someone else. But now I'm the boss. I'm the one that goes, I will do this, or no, I won't do this. And I'm never doing it alone either. So some people get a little bit worried about that because it's like, I don't want to make those decisions. And it's like, well, this business is a business in a box. It's step by step. You're never doing it alone. You're talking to people all over the world. And if you have questions, just ask. So they're my top 3 things.
Ah, I see. Yeah, you're still working, but you have more flexibility for your life, to being with your son and some time for your family as well, right?
Yeah. So like I've had a complete life change, you know, so I'm my own boss. I do some casual work as well on the side. So I do support work and look after support workers because I see a huge need out there for people. And that's just like, it's kind of like one of my ministries, one of my areas that I
I can imagine you worked for the university before and now you're helping the people. So you like people. your face. I can see how you like passion to helping the people from your face, smiling, big smiling. So
thank you. I do. I absolutely love helping people in all different ways.
That's good. Okay, so there are some people watching this live and maybe later on the video. So do you have some message or like some encouragement to the people from you, from your experience?
So I always say knowledge is power, and the only way you can get knowledge is by finding out more. So to find out more information, you need to actually act and do something. So what you can do is watch the live webinar. So there's a live webinar that's on tomorrow, and my great friend Lani's actually hosting it, and some of the beautiful people that I've met from all over the world are going to be on the panel. Have a look at it, because it may not be for you, but what if it is? What if it's something that you can even do while you're working full time and plan for your future? Or is it something that you just want to do for yourself? Like, I really found myself again. That's like, I just can't stress how good it is to be confident in myself again, and say unashamedly to people, check out the webinar. If it's you, jump in straight away. Don't be shy. That's what I say.
I totally agree with you. Just stepping is just small step, but sometimes it's a big step for someone. But that is only you, only us. We can change our lives. So just step in and just know what this world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I think many people are encouraged from your story, your experience, your world. Thank you so much for today. I'm so appreciative.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, thank you for Nicole. So see you next time. Thank you. Okay, so Nicole mentioned that webinar on this live. You can register from, I show you my address. You can visit my website. You can pop in your name and email address. I'm going to send a link. You can watch the webinar. So please check webinar and you can know if it fits or not. Okay, thank you so much for watching today. That's all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.